All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so excited to have you here. Welcome to this week's session of Freedom Fridays. As always, it's so good to be with you. Today, as we do every week, we are going to celebrate our wins, set up our schedule for next week, and then we're going to wind down for the weekend. And as I've been trying to do every week, we are going to have a little bit of a topic to discuss something that I know can be hard for trying to set up your schedule so that we can troubleshoot what is and what's not working as we go through this. Because I don't want you to just try to bulldoze your way through. I want you to be able to make this work for you. I want this to be productive and helpful as it's been helpful and productive for me. Listen, it is productive and helpful for me every single week. Every single week when I set up my schedule, I know that I get back 5, 10 more hours in my next week, and it makes it so much easier for me to just sit down and get work done. So I'm so much more productive, which leaves more time for me to enjoy my life without my mind running or feeling any guilt or any of those things. So super important to me. So the topic that I wanted to talk about today is how to manage your time when you have competing priorities, because that tends to be like 99% of the problem. Is that especially us as Black women, we are highly effective, overachieving, extremely productive women who always have stuff to do because we know we're the reliable ones. We're the ones who are going to get stuff done. We're the ones that are going to make sure that everything stays afloat. And that usually costs us our burnout. It costs us the health in our body. It costs us a lot of things. So, how can we balance those things and prioritize ourselves just as much as we want to prioritize getting these other things done? I don't think it's the most simple answer. So I'm not going to say it is, but I'm going to say for me, what has helped me do that better is using this method called time blocking. And there's a couple different methods. There's time blocking, there's time boxing, there's like a couple, like four different, there's the ABCF method. But I have come to find that time blocking is really good for me. And I take it a step further and I use my time and energy budget with time blocking to help me really organize what are my priorities. Like, I get to decide what my priorities are before the week even starts. And then with my time and energy budget, I get to decide what my priorities are before I even start the planning so that it simplifies it. So if it doesn't fit into the categories that I've put into my budget, then I need to be asking myself, why am I considering this a priority? And should I be getting rid of it or not? And so time blocking is the tool that, or one of the methods that I use to create work-life balance and harmony amidst trying to deal with competing priorities. The problem with competing priorities, and I think I already talked about this, but just to go a little deeper, there's so many things on your plate. So how can we categorize those things? So with time blocking, you can set up different categories. So I like to do my complete like personal time. I have my work time. I have a business in addition to having my in addition to having to working for a coach on the side. If you're joining us, make sure you say hi. I would love to say hi to you. So I have these different categories. I just named 3 of those categories. In addition to, I also have fun, and then I have another category for rest throughout the week. So with those 5 different categories, I can use the time blocking method to organize how much time within the week does each of these blocks get, and then make sure when I set up my time and energy budget, I organize myself so that I get that I have a standard of what that time block should look like. And then every week I make sure I plug in the different tasks within those sections to make sure I'm getting all of those things accomplished. And that's a very methodical way to make sure that I have work life balance. So, again, if those 5 categories are work for my freelance work and then work for my business, then personal time where I'm just sleeping, bathing, doing all the things, and then time for rest where I'm actually winding down and doing personal development, taking a nap. That's what happens in the rest section. And then fun is things like doing hobbies or going out to a concert or things that I enjoy. If I make sure that I'm plugging things into each of those categories into this time blocking method using my time and energy budget, then I know that I'm regularly doing all of those things. So it simplifies it. Now, here's the thing. The mindset behind that is that if you feel like everything else is more important than your life, like your personal time, your rest time, and your fun time, then this is not going to work for you because you're always going to ignore those 3 sections. You have to choose and decide for yourself. Those are going to be the most important. Those are going to have just as much high priority as my freelance and my business work. Otherwise, it's going to just keep being you putting everything, just prioritizing work over it. We literally have to choose it. It is a choice to not be burnt out. It is a choice to have work-life balance. It is a choice to not let work be the most important thing about you. And this is one of the practical ways to be able to create that. So I want to say to you in that, because I know it can be hard. It'd be easier for me to say that, but it's harder to believe it. I want you to hear me when I say, you are not disappointing anybody by prioritizing your rest, your fun, and your personal time. You're not disappointing anybody, okay? You're not even disappointing yourself if you allow yourself to actually just believe and be okay with the fact that you need that time. And I know it's hard at the beginning to actually make time for that. But if you're having a hard time figure out what you should do when you get to that time, then I fully suggest that you make a list of, here are the different ways that I rest. Here are the different hobbies that I like to explore when it's my fun time. Here are the different things that I need to do in my personal time, my self-care time. Make a list of those things so that when it comes to those times and you're not sure what you should be doing and that's what makes you default back to work, make sure you can go to that list and do some of those things. And those are things that are usually repeatable that you could do on a regular basis. And that helps simplify it. So, like I said, you're not disappointing anyone. Anyone who has been blessed to even say that you will help them, Black woman, they are more lucky than they ever probably realize because you show up so intently, so deeply, so personally for every single one of them. And they're blessed to have you in their court. They really are. And they will not be disappointed when you say, I actually have to take care of me. I have to put the face mask on me so that I can continue to help you. Okay? All right. So I'm just taking a look at my notes here. Okay. So I've already talked a little bit about time blocking and the benefits of it for me. If you have any questions about that, please let me know in the chat. I'll be happy to create a full video about it. And then, especially because I believe that most of you are joining me for the replay. So, hi everybody. Welcome replay people. I'm so happy you're here. If you don't know who I am Rashida, and I am a life coach for Black women, corporate professionals, and entrepreneurs who are looking for work-life balance, who are reliable and keep the world afloat, but have realized that has created burnout for them and want a different lifestyle so that they can travel, maybe exit the country, do all of these other things that they've been dreaming about doing. So on this channel, I talk about letting go of workaholism and practical ways to create this softer life that you don't have to be on all the time. on this channel, I give tips for that, just like this tip about time blocking. So that, and then we also talk about redefining success and living my passions. So my passions are eating good food, traveling, and physical wellness. So I will be sharing plenty of videos about that too. Like I just shared a video about my workcation trip to Los Angeles. So make sure you check that out too. If you're joining with me, make sure that you say hello down in the comments. I would love to shout you out. Hi, Maggie. Hi, Aaron. Hi, We Don't Retire, We Ascend. I'm so glad that you guys got to join me today. I'm always so grateful when you can join me live, but I also love when you guys can join me for the replay too. I completely understand 12 o'clock on a Friday afternoon, you might be busy, or maybe you're getting ready to wind down like we're getting ready to do. So either way, I hope that you would get a chance to join me. Make sure you subscribe so that you can get notifications for the live for this next week. That being said, let's go ahead and jump into our co-planning session. So the first thing that we're going to do is that we're going to celebrate our wins. Every week, I love for us to celebrate our wins because it's so easy to just keep doing. And we easily forget to pat ourselves on the back, to appreciate just how much we've actually got done. And when we appreciate how much we get done, that's how we see how much progress we've made. You have not been working hard just for nothing. You've been working hard to achieve things, and you are achieving them as you go on this journey. All of those small things, even your big things, they snowball into even bigger things. So that's why we take some time to celebrate these wins here at the beginning. Okay. Yay. I'm glad that Maggie saw that. Yes, I love it. So that being said, I would love for you to start posting in the chat. What are 3 wins that you are celebrating for this week? I would love to hear them and celebrate them with you. If you're joining me on the replay, go ahead and make sure you put that down in the comments. I still want to celebrate you. I see the comments, I reply to them. I would love to celebrate with you. So while you're doing that, Maggie said, I'm hoping to catch the replay, but I wanted to pop on and say hello. Yes, I completely understand, Maggie. I'm so glad that you got a chance to at least pop in and say hi. It's so good to see you. I love it. I love it. You can tell me your wins when you watch the replay, okay? So my 3 wins for this week. I actually had a list of 4. I wrote them out. So let me find them really quick because I remind myself to go ahead and celebrate my week as well. So here, where is it? I know I have it. It's right here. Okay. So, don't know what happened with this. Sorry about that. Oh my. I hate when things go wonky during the middle of the live. Thanks for being patient, y'all, while I fix that back. Okay, here they are. So my wins, I'm excited that we got a few digital products transferred over in the business that I work in. That's super exciting to help her business continue to scale. So that's one win. Another win is that in my business, I posted my first pod vlog this week. And a pod vlog is a mixture of a podcast and a vlog. So it's a lot of clips. Man, I did not know just how much work it was going to be to create a vlog. So this was a labor of love. So I was very excited to finish it on time and to get it posted. And then one of my favorite creators commented on it, and she's the one who I shouted out in the video, and that made my day. So I was super excited about that. That's a win for me. And then a personal win is that I actually had a terrible allergic reaction to some spider bites that had me extremely swollen, extremely uncomfortable, that so much so that I had to go to urgent care. But I'm very grateful that as of right now, I am feeling so much better. I went yesterday, so the medicine is working. So I am taking it as a win. And I'm also taking it as a win that didn't like kill the party. Like I still have had a really great week. And then I guess this is my fourth win for the week, but I am so excited. This weekend, yesterday I took a walk with my goddaughter and we were talking and I was like, "Oh, have you seen the movie Migration?" And she's like, "No, I haven't seen it yet." She's 6. And so we're going to watch that movie this weekend. So I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, those are my wins. This is not about trying to make every week's wins huge. This is celebrating even your small wins, knowing that they are a part of the things that you've been making space for, to have work-life balance, to have lifestyle freedom. And they're worth celebrating. They're the baby steps that are going to snowball into bigger things. And those are some of the wins that I'm celebrating, because they all come back to my work-life balance and lifestyle freedom as well. So that being said, for the people who are over on YouTube Live, this next section is going to be all about us getting into the actual co-working part of this session. And it just doesn't work well for the vertical orientation that you guys have over on Instagram. So if you are interested in continuing to do the rest of the session, go ahead and pop over to YouTube at Your Dream Strategist. Look me up on YouTube and join us for the rest of the call there. Okay? All right. Now that I have ended that live over there, we are going to jump into our next section, which is gathering all the different tasks. So we're going to create our objective for next week and gathering all the tasks that we didn't finish this week, in addition to the tasks that we need to do next week, so that when we get to the next section of scheduling, we have all of those things together, and it makes it easier to plug and play rather than realizing that we forgot something. So on your worksheet, that's going to take you to the next couple pages, and we're going to have about 10 minutes to do that. Let me tell you what number page that is. Opening up my worksheet. Here we go. So that is going to be on pages 4, 5, and 6 that we're getting ready to work through. And you're going to see me working through it on the screen. That'll give us about 10 minutes. If you have any questions, pop them in the chat. I'll pause the music and answer them for you. But this will help you get all of those things set up. Awesome. Again, if you're joining us, please make sure you say hello in the chat. I would love to say hello to you. And if you have not already, go ahead and head over to my website at freedomfridays.yourdreamstrategist.com to get your worksheet that we're getting ready to move into. All right, so I got my worksheet already here. I'm going to make a copy. So this is what I like to do every week. Oops, that's not the right one to copy. Here it is. Copy my worksheet, give it a new date. Today is the 19th. Ooh, I gotta call my brother. Today is his birthday. And then I'm gonna get to work. I'm gonna put the music on for you, and I will see you when the timer ends. Again, if you have any questions, drop them in the chat. Where is my... Here we go. and then I'm getting ready. I'm pulling out the tasks that I haven't completed so that I can have them all together for scheduling for next week. All right. So I'm just finishing up a couple notes and then we're moving into the next section. So if you're ready to move into the next section, you want to open up your calendar, take all the tasks that you've decided need to happen next week, along with your objectives for next week and how much time you need to spend on those objectives for next week. Take all of those and start putting those things into your calendar. so that you are completely right. All you have to do is show up and do those things when it comes that time. So I'm just finishing up a couple notes on my objectives, and then I'm going to jump into planning here on my screen. We have about 20 minutes to get all of our planning done. Um, Generally, that's how long it takes me, but sometimes it takes a little longer. So take what you need. Get the music back on. Get over to my planner. So you guys, I'm trying this new planner called Reclaim AI, and it's very interesting because it will help do some of your planning for you if you're diligent enough about putting your tasks or scheduling out their tasks. So I'm actually gonna talk through a bit of this today because I found it to be an interesting program, and it has a pretty good free version. So I'm actually gonna turn off the music so that you can hear me. So the way that you do it is that you decide what are your habits that you need to do on a regular basis. And you guys know I'm all about habits because habits and routines are the basis for your life systems. So I have my workday shutdown routine. I have lunch and exercise routines. I have my YouTube routines, which all of this is one routine, but I needed it to happen on certain days, so I did them separated out. And then live stream. These are also business routines and a couple other routines. So I have quite a few routines. Like these are the different things that I stack within my day to make sure that they get done on the right cadence. Now, I have all of these routines in the habit feature in Reclaim AI, but it was moving things around a little bit too much for my preference. So I actually decided to go back and schedule those things in my calendar. So you can see they're scheduled in here. So my morning routine, I wake up at 6 during the week. Then my workday startup routine. And then my YouTube tasks, they repeat every week, not every day or not every business day. So they're scheduled in here as well. And then what I really use Reclaim AI for is for the tasks that need to happen for my freelance work. So what I do is when I have a task for my freelance work, I put it in the task section. But as you can see, you can still see my task section here on my planner page. So I can search tasks, I can add new tasks, and then I can prioritize tasks as well, which I like as well. So the main things that I need to get done, I can put them at the top in this up next section. And within that, I can also say there are certain things, there are certain times, time blocks that it should be done. So like I have my working hours for freelance stuff, that's in the afternoon. I have my working hours for my business time, those are in the morning. So this AI will only schedule it during the times that I've allotted within those hours, which I think is a really, really cool feature. I've enjoyed that. When you come and see that, let me see if I could find that area. I believe it's in settings. And then when you go over to hours, you can tell it the different type of hours that you want. So I have custom hours, which are, I have like the standards that they have. So working hours, meeting hours, these are the times when people can schedule an exit plan call with me. So if you've been thinking about an exit plan call, I have time every day so that I can, or every work day, so that we can get on the call without you having to wait too long to get it, because I want to help you like when you're excited and you're ready to do it. So this will reschedule my calendar. This will use AI for the things that can be moved that are lower priority to be moved around automatically without me losing track of the things that I still need to do, which I think is really cool. I've I'm still in the trial, so I'm still testing things out, but I have found that to be really cool. And then personal hours, and then I also have additional working hours for my business, which are, like I said, in the morning. So meeting hours are about like early afternoon. Uh, my working hours for my business are in the morning. Working hours for freelance are like afternoon in general. And then personal hours are hours where I'm doing fun, rest, and things like that. And I can actually tell it these are the kind of tasks that should be each of those sections, so that it will use AI to schedule things within to fill in my time and help me prioritize. So the way that it helps you prioritize, there's a little function over here that you can tell it low priority, medium priority, high priority, critical. And so it will use that to move things around. In addition to, also, you can tell it, here are the things that are up next. What are the most important objectives? So I have 3 things that are at risk, meaning that looking at the amount of time that needs to get done and how much time to the due date, if I don't get those things scheduled soon, I'm going to be behind. So I should figure out how I'm going to get them done. This report, I am going to postpone so I can change that time. And to me, choosing that it's a lesser priority than I immediately had for it. And that's fine. It allows Reclaim to reorganize it. In addition to, let me see, these 2 I'm actually going to go ahead and leave as they are. I'm going to prioritize those for next week to get done. And I'm also going to put the 2 objectives that I wanted to work on. So like this, I did do this, but I want to follow up on it again. So I'm going to leave that there. But I want to add in my objectives for the week. So I'm going to come back, and the one thing that I don't like about this, so when I do an objective in Sansama, I'm not going to lie, that's still my favorite program, but there are some things about Reclaim AI that I really enjoy. So in Sansama, what I could do is say, this is my objective for the week. And then I could, under that, say, I'm going to work on this objective for 3 hours on Monday, for 2 hours on Tuesday, for an hour on Wednesday, for 2 more hours on Thursday, and then I should be done. And I would be able to put all of that time under the one objective. This doesn't actually do that. And I'm still trying to decide, is the AI worth it to help me just keep rolling on getting things done? Or is it better for me to choose what's most important? Like for me to manually, it is a little bit more manual, to manually set up my schedule for that week. So this is the tool that I'm trying out. And like I said, I'll be getting onto the free features really soon, so I can see how well those pan out for me. But I think all in all, I do like the setup that we have here. So now I'm gonna go ahead and give you the rest of the time to do your planning, and I am going to work on my planner here on the screen. I know this is a little bit different to what you usually see, so I just wanted to go ahead and give you a little bit of a walkthrough. And I don't like that it makes me have to work in multiple places. Like, I should be able to be over here and create an event, and I don't know if it's just, yeah, it's just not allowing me. So I'm gonna go ahead and create it over here. As you can see, I've got my schedule for next week pretty much set up with a little bit of flexibility in there. All right, all the screens. Okay, so that being said, now we've just spent about 20 minutes setting up our schedule for next week. If you need a little bit more time, don't hesitate to put this video on pause if you're watching the replay, or if you're on live with me right now, go ahead and you can mute me and then come back to it and finish it with the replay if that works for you. But yeah, now that we're moving into this next section, the first thing that we're going to do, or the last thing that we're going to do for scheduling our week, is that we're going to go back and make sure we have time set up for fun and rest scheduled throughout the week. So the way that I do that is I know what fun things that I want to do on a regular basis. So I set those up as recurring events in my calendar that I do every week. In addition to when I find another event that's a one-off that I want to do, I schedule that ahead of time. So like, I don't know if you noticed, there's a black card event on Wednesday that I'm going to. I also have a recurring jazz event on Wednesday. So if I'm not going to that one-off event, that I would go to the jazz event. And dancing is on Thursday, every Thursday for me. And then I have some things on the weekends. So make sure you have those kind of things scheduled in so that you make sure that when you're like, I want something to do, you don't have to figure out what you have to do. That's always hard for me because I get to that time and I'm like, I have no idea. And then I end up doing nothing. And that's how we end up binging on Netflix rather than doing something that's actually more fun and more encouraging to us. So try to help yourself by scheduling some things ahead of time. It actually helps, you guys. I cannot say that enough, okay? All right, so now that you've done that last check on your schedule, now it's officially time to move into the third part of our session, which is winding down for the week. So I have this in our worksheet as well. If you go over to page 8, okay, that looks like this. Page 8 gives you a checklist of a couple things to do to start winding down for your week. So the first thing that you want to do is recognize or start looking at what windows on your calendar or on your computer, actually, what windows on your computer can you start closing down for the weekend? So I can see a couple right now. You can't see my screen. I just closed one. That was great. Let me see. I have some windows over here that I can close. That's great. I'm going to close this. So I have a good 3 or 4 windows that I'm closing for the weekend, and that feels really good. Remember, the whole point of doing this is that we are able to physically create space on the computer that's also creating space in our mind. Like our mind remembers that all of those tabs are running, and just like it's running in the background on your computer, and it now Google will tell you freed up space. Like when you close those things, you're freeing up space. And the same thing that we're doing in our own mind as well, okay? So there's that. So the number 1 is closing down the windows. Number 2, take yourself to dinner or eat a meal that feels like a treat for you. So my treat meal for this week, I'm going to do, I don't make this often, honestly, because I deprioritize in cooking. I have a housemate that's a chef, and honestly, she cooks most of the time. So I don't do things that often, but I've been wanting some chickpea tuna, and she has an amazing recipe for it. So I got all of the ingredients for it, and I'm excited to make this chickpea tuna. It's the little things that makes me, usually I try to go out, but when I really have a taste for something, I go ahead and just, if it's going out to get it, then I go out and get it. But this one is actually making it at home, so I'm excited about that. So I'll be making some chickpea tuna today. Super excited about that. And then my next that I'm winding down for the weekend, my next wind down step, take yourself out to do something fun. So it is beautiful out. It finally feels like spring, like it's starting to get warm here in Charlotte. And my goddaughters, we haven't done this in a while. There's this kind of wraparound trail that takes us through on a nice little hike kind of thing, and they can ride their bikes. So I'm gonna try and do that with them this weekend. Actually, probably tonight. I'm gonna try and do that with them tonight because we're gonna do their movie tomorrow. Because on Sunday and Monday, I'll be with their mom doing the pop up shop. Yes, that's what I'm gonna do. So I need to put that in my calendar as well because I forgot to put those things in my calendar. Well, I know the pop up shop is in my calendar. So that's my fun thing that I'm going to do this evening is I'm going to do a pretty good walk with my goddaughters where they get to ride their bike and I get to just stroll and hang out with them, building a relationship with them. Super, super fun and exciting for me. For me, when I think about success, what makes life successful for me now that I have lifestyle freedom, because my main dream 10 years ago was that I wanted lifestyle freedom, that I wanted to be able to decide when I wake up, when I go to bed, when I worked, who I worked for, how long I worked for them. Like I wanted the autonomy to be able to make those decisions about my schedule and about how I make money. I am living that now. So now my next iteration is making sure that with my lifestyle freedom that I now have, I'm spending it on um making time for the people that I care about the most, that I want to spend time with. I have traveled all over the world, and most of it I've done alone or not necessarily with my favorite people. Sometimes I've done some trips with my favorite people. Like I have one coming up. We're going, it's a late birthday trip. My birthday was in March, but we're actually going in May, and I'm going with one of my favorite people. But I'm saying that to say I've traveled a lot without my favorite people, and it can be lonely. It's not as fun when you don't have your people with you. But some of my people can't travel as much as I do. So it's been important to me to make sure that I make just as much space to come back and spend time with them as I do to go have fun and do all the traveling things that I love. And ideally, the partner that I'm looking for will do all of that travel with me, so I won't have to do that alone. But in the meantime, I can make time for my goddaughters to be with them as they're growing up, to have fun, and to take trips where I go away and come back. I hope that makes sense. I feel like I got on a little bit of a rant there, but the whole point is that make decisions that are helping you live the dreams that you want to live right now. It's not about making plans in the future to live those dreams. You can do small things to live those dreams right now if you just choose to be intentional about it. And this is one of the ways that I am intentional about it, about making time to be with them because, I mean, relationships are extremely important to me. So I'll stop ranting about that. Whatever you are doing for this wind down, I would love for you to tell me that in the comments. But that being said, I also want to share with you, I just got on this whole kind of rant about creating work-life balance and lifestyle freedom and how it's taken me some time to figure out how to do that. But I'm here and it's been really great and I'm loving my story has continued to evolve and grow. And I would imagine if you're on this channel, you probably have similar dreams where you're like, my life is in this one place right now where I'm working all the time. I'm prioritizing work. I have a corporate job or I have a business. And I'm always making more time for that than I'm making time for me to live my life. But you don't want that anymore because you've seen it burn you out. You've seen it mess up your hormones and make you gain weight and make your blood pressure high. I know all of those were symptoms that I was experiencing until I figured out how to shift my life. And so I had to stumble through it and it took me some time to figure it out. But now I've created a framework that makes it so much easier. What took me 4 or 5 years to figure out, now I can walk you through in 6 months to help you create work-life balance and lifestyle freedom to be well on your way to living all of those dreams that you want in the next 6 months. I'm not saying that you'll go from being, that you'll quit your job in 6 months. You may or may not. That depends on the plan that we create together. But whatever your dreams are, we can help get you that plan and get you the clarity to create that plan because those are the most important things. You got to get clarity and you got to get a plan before you start doing anything. clarity, plan in your system to actualize it. Once you get those three things, you are so far ahead on making things happen that you don't even realize it. Like, it simplifies it, it automates it, it makes it so much easier to actually accomplish those goals. And so the way that I help my clients do that is in my program called Meant for More. And it's a 6-month program that walks you through the steps to help you create that. Now, if you're interested in knowing exactly what those steps are, I have a webinar completely free where I walk you through all 4 of the steps that we do. I break it down to what we do in each one of those steps and how in 6 months you're going to be able to make this transformation in your life. If you're interested in checking that out, that is at webinar.yourdreamstrategist.com. Completely free. I would love for you to go ahead and take advantage of it. Like, if you listen to those steps and start making strides for it. And if you want help, I have a free exit plan call so we can personalize that to you. But I definitely have found that accountability and encouragement and someone who has done it before, helping you figure out when things are like not crazy and off and all of those things, having me there to help you through that is going to help you as well through the program. And yet, I would love for you to take advantage of the exit plan call as well. So many different options for you to take advantage of. Start with the webinar.yourdreamstrategist.com, okay? I love gathering and having this call with you every single week. Make sure that you are subscribed to my channel and like this video if it's worked for you, so that I can know, like, is this working or should I try this another way? I want this to be helpful. So thank you to everybody that's joined, and I look forward to getting back with you next week. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.